Hey, you might be like, why is this guy here alone? The answer is I fucked up my audio recording a little bit on the last episode because it was going through my webcam. And I did my best to fix it in post, but it's still a little tinny, so you're gonna hear some inconsistency. I'm sorry. As a mea culpa, I made this excellent intro video and song for you to enjoy before the episode begins. So enjoy it. I think this is a good episode, even with the crappy audio quality.
At the dawn of time, single-celled creatures emerged from the primordial ooze to colonize the Earth. The fertile soil they found was beautiful, dangerous, and wild. However, it was also super lame because they didn't have the concept of numbers with which to rate things. Now, in the year of our spaghetti monster in the sky, 2025, two intrepid brothers have come forth to solve the world's problem. No longer will items go unrated. No longer will everyday objects escape the rule of numerical law. This is Review Everything.
Hello, and welcome to Review Everything. That is our brand new intro that I recorded today. Thoughts, Connor? What do you think of that?
I don't want to use our regular scale, but on a scale of amazing to fantastic, it's in there for sure. I think for a first,
somewhere on there.
I'm gonna give you my affirmation right now, so you're not gonna get it at the end of the show. But for a first pass, it's good, man.
Yeah, so it's funny because last week we said we're like we'll each come with a song, and I panicked today because I didn't really have anything, so I started from scratch at like noon on my lunch break, and I was like, what do I have in this room? I was like, I have my guitar, I have my KO2, and I can write. And so I was like, I'm just gonna write some copy, I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna make it like the start of like Space Odyssey, and also like throw electric guitar in the background like Mad Max, so it sounds like a Terminator movie. I don't know.
No, amazing. I did the
I'm
opposite.
pleased
I
with it.
worked on mine every day all week, and I hate every second of it. And I tried to finish it today at the last second using my ADHD powers, and I got diarrhea and a headache. And so I'm going to bring it next week.
You worked on the song so hard you shit yourself. That's
Well,
dedication to the craft.
No, I had a lot of ISO whey protein, and it just kind of ran through me.
Classic whey protein. Well, in case you didn't understand from the intro, because, lots of distortion and stuff, this is a podcast where we take items from across the limitless spectrum of human existence and assign them a numeric value, often with decimal places, much to Connor's dismay. I am Ashton McCauley. I am a writer and semi-professional griper. Who are you?
I'm Connor from work, if you worked with me, on a sunny afternoon. On November 24th, 1971, I boarded an airplane. I had a bourbon and soda, and shortly after takeoff, I handed a note to the stewardess, letting her know that I had a bomb. We landed in Seattle. I traded the crew, the people on board, for money and weapons, and we flew to Mexico. During that route, I jumped out the back. No one's ever seen me again.
Oh, a bold move to just put it out on the podcast. But, I mean, Connor's initials are DB. That is like the D is silent in Connor. Suspicious. Well, nobody wants to hear about any of that. It's uninteresting anyway. So
I mean, honestly, DB Cooper is probably in my top 5 interesting things ever.
Well, so that's maybe
I think about him multiple times per day.
Things that interest me because I still really want to talk about people going over Niagara Falls in barrels and the entire history of that because it's.
How are you doing this podcast? I'm taking whatever category we have and just finding a way to talk about something I'm interested in.
Yeah, but things that are round, I guess I could have talked about barrels going over Niagara Falls, but I had too many good physical objects to choose from, so.
Next week we'll do things that are cylinders.
Things that are cylinders. Yeah, we're really getting the variety in there. Listen, before we get into this, I like what we've been doing where we talk about how our day is going on a number scale just to ease into it. Get some hot ratings out. So how are you doing?
Let's score ourselves. I'm a 3. I think maybe I was pushing 4, but then the headache and the diarrhea. But it's leaning back up, so I'm going to give myself a 3. What about you? How was your day, man? You had to work.
So I started at a 5. And I say that because like I had my coffee, I had my lightning shit. I worked on.
We've already talked too much about poop. We'll have to cut one of those poops out. You can have one. I can have one. I can't have 2.
All the poop stays in. So I worked on our podcast. I had my coffee. I went for a run. like before work, because
Damn.
I'm a superhuman.
Damn.
And then the work day goes on, and then slowly I come down to like a 4. Yeah, I come down to a 3 because like, I'm losing motivation and steam pretty hard. I came like back up a little bit while I worked on the intro, and then I went right back down. And then I'm flying to Chicago on Friday, and I saw the forecast for Chicago on the day I fly in and the day I fly out. The day I fly in is thunderstorms in the evening. I fly in the evening. I'm a nervous flyer. The day I fly out is isolated thunderstorms and a tornado.
If it makes you feel better, so having lived in Illinois and have traveled there a couple times, I know you have too, that's pretty much every afternoon once you get to spring. And you'll be able to watch it as you come into the water, and they're pretty good about avoiding it. So I wouldn't be that nervous. In fact, you want me to go with you? I was thinking about it. I thought this would be a good time to offer it up.
Yeah, just tag along. Well, look, my wife is working the whole time, so I
know.
don't see any reason why she wouldn't be into it, all 3 of us splitting a hotel room together for free.
Yeah. That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't work. Come to Chicago. Come hang out in Chicago. Look,
You can meet my friend
bits
Michael.
aside,
Michael
if
Kent.
you wanted to come to Chicago, I would love to have you in Chicago. Come hang out.
This isn't a bit.
Okay, cool. No bits. Come to Chicago. Be
Okay,
fun.
we'll be doing a live show from Chicago next week.
My God, yeah, live show from Chicago next week. That'd be so that took me down to like I'd say like a 2, nearing a 1, because my anxiety panic spiraled, and now I'm starting to come back up. But like that's the energy I came into the room with.
Gotcha.
Was I'm going to die in a plane like in 2 days time, and
But if it's
I
like-
like my life, so I don't want to die in a plane. But
I'm gonna give you a nug for another time, but it was related, and I forgot to bring it up last time. So last time we had dreams, and I dream a lot about crashing in a plane. I believe I told you this, Ashton, but 2 summers ago, I had a recurring dream of a very specific crash. And when I was visiting France, we were supposed to fly out of Geneva, and I swear it was for my dream. And I bailed on the flight, and me and my partner took a train to the city we were going to.
well,
And I was like,
did the flight make it?
it did, yeah, but it wouldn't have if I was on it. So that's irrelevant.
Look, I mean, I fully support bailing when that feeling is too strong, because you're not going to enjoy that anyway. My plan
No.
right now is just to take some lorazepam and hope that the good miracle drugs that my doctors give me work.
Hell yeah. No, I would have felt fine. I had the drugs. It was mostly, yeah. So
Also the
anyways.
death part. I mean, because
So
you
I-
feel good up until a certain point, and then crunching metal together doesn't feel good for anybody.
Yeah, you won't be alive that long. So I heard a rumor, a secret rumor, if you would, that we have our first guest request.
We do. We have our first,
And it may be
listener
related to
question.
dying. So
It is a little related to dying. Before we do, I just want to say, if any of you have anything you want us to rate, just send it to us. And by that I mean like comment on Spotify or YouTube and say, "Hey, dummies, rate this." I mean, the nicer you say it, the more likely we are to do it. But I'm gonna start making a list of listener suggestions. Right now, we only have 1
yeah,
because new show. We're figuring it out. We're
if
getting
we're
the
being
spice
if we're
together.
being honest with ourselves, both of us, what's the word? God damn it! Respond to negative reinforcement. So
true. Yeah, we
honestly, if you
both
want us
do.
to rate something, neg us, especially Ashton.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, like I will say, like I've been the really angry comments in the YouTube shorts on Connor's TV clip. Those fuel me. They just make me want to be even more liberal. So keep them coming.
I didn't even know you could comment on shorts. I don't understand how people
Yeah,
spend their time, and I just say that as someone who does nothing with my life.
People got really spicy, man.
Whatever.
They kind of. It was like
Come
you were
at me.
taking down America single-handedly by
Come
saying that
at
maybe
me.
a state
Can't
had
talk about
racist
New
origins.
Mexico anymore. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so let's get to this listener question. So this is from Lauren, who we both know because he was also at my wedding, much like you were. He was the best man. You were the officiant.
Hmm.
Yeah. And my runaway bride.
He was one of the ones who went to the bachelor party that I wasn't invited to.
So Lauren says, please rate the feeling when you are deep in the woods enjoying a morning hike and you suddenly become paranoid that there's a cougar sneaking up behind you. And even though you know it's extremely unlikely, that feeling becomes so real that you have to take your noise-canceling headphones off for the remainder of the hike.
So I'm going to be taking this one. Ashton's a city boy. I'm a woodsy boy. Kinda. I live in the woods anyways. All right, I have a couple questions for you first, Ashton.
Mhm.
Pop quiz. How many people have died approximately to cougars in the last 100 years in the United States?
That's 100 years.
Order of magnitude.
45.
I think it's 28. Might be
Okay.
26.
That
Okay.
sounds close-ish.
How many people have died in Washington since we've been keeping score, which is, I shouldn't Maybe it is score. 1904, which
Say
I think
8.
is. So two. One was a 12-year-old boy, I think in 1920. The other one was a 50-year-old man like 3 years ago, 2 miles from where I was mountain biking, or I mountain bike all the time. First, I did commune with that little boy. He actually didn't die of a cougar attack. He was killed by his dad, and then his dad roughed him up a bunch. It was 1920. It was rural Washington. That kid did not get killed by a cougar, so we're dropping that down to 1, which means there's only been one person killed by a cougar in the last 100 years in Washington. But most of the attacks have happened right around me. And so outside of a gentleman dying, I believe in 2018, there was another attack. And there's some pictures, if you want to bring it up, that I gave you, where 5 mostly mature women stepped on and then pushed down a cougar who attacked one of them for 45 minutes and held it there.
I remember this. They held it down with a bike, and then they waited for like the people to come kill it. God, I forgot about this, man. Okay, I'm just gonna Google Washington cougar attack and pull that up because I remember this picture of her face now.
I did not see this.
Yeah. Okay. This is great.
I didn't know it could stretch that much.
We're just gonna share this.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna just trigger warning for everybody. Like I'm about to show you some pictures of a woman after a cougar attack. It's after she's healed, but they're
show the cool picture first, where they're all holding the cougar down. There you go.
Okay. So this is them holding the cougar down.
45 minutes.
Yeah. And then this is her after, because it bit part of her face.
That's like pretty healed, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty healed. But like, god damn, man.
They tough ladies.
So I know that we said that like there's only been 2 cougar deaths. This would fucking suck. So I think that's worth taking my headphones out for.
I honestly would have told my friends to go and let the cougar finish me. So here's my lightning rubric. Danger. So first my experience. So I'm pretty sure I did get stalked by a tiger. I did a really big mountain bike day for me. I did a couple dumb things. It was hot out. I took an edible. I didn't bring enough water. I didn't bring any food. I was generally solo because my friend left me because I didn't go fast enough, and ended up on a remote gravel road 2 miles away from where these people were attacked. And both me and my cattle dog felt something for a little bit, and then at some point turned around and we were being stalked by something large. It could have been a bear. It was probably a big cat, a panther, cougar, mountain lion, all the same thing. I also ate some berries and threw up. And so that was my experience. And now to lightning rubric. 1, category, dangerous grounds. First category, danger. 5, because I don't know if it was a cat. Second category, tummy. 0, because I threw up and I was scared of a tiger. And then the last category was lessons learned. And that one I'm going to give a 10 because I did things I shouldn't have done. And I won't do that again, including riding with headphones in. Overall experience.
We love lessons learned on this podcast. If we've shown anything from how we rank ass beatings. That's our number 2 item right now.
So I'm pushing for a 2.
Okay.
How's that grab you?
I've never run into a cougar in the woods, but I have absolutely said at times I'm not going to wear noise canceling headphones in the woods, especially like woods where there are bears, because growing up, we used to go to our cabin in Canada all the time. It's like 10 hours north of here, out in the middle of nowhere, and you don't walk without like bear bells and shit on because there were grizzlies everywhere.
Yeah. But do you still have a cabin? And
Oh, yeah. It's out in the middle of the BC wilderness. It is gorgeous. It used to have no cell service, but I think they have satellite now. But there's a huge grizzly bear population out there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So like we just sort of learned never to fuck with grizzlies. And like I've seen black bears on the trail before. I've seen grizzlies on the trail on the other side of the river, thankfully. But enough that like I would never walk with headphones in the forest. That just would not
especially
happen.
in grizzly country. So this is
but black bear country is anywhere here too.
They're fine. You can pat as long as they don't have a bunch of kids. Like I poked a bear's butt.
Yeah. That was like one time the black bear climbed our water tower at that cabin, and it was a baby. And I was like, oh, I want to go see it. It seems cute. And the parents were like, no, you don't know where the mama is. So I will also say, I would also agree with a 2. Yeah, a 2, because I mean, like, that sucks. Everything about that sucks. It sounds miserable.
So Lauren, thanks for the question. Lauren.
Yeah.
Thanks for the cue. I'm glad one of us had an experience that we could help rank for you and put another thing into a box. And
I'm just gonna label it cougar attacks, by the way.
My call to action for our listeners is to Google coexisting with carnivores and go learn how to coexist with them.
Yeah. I'm gonna put too scary, makes me stop my music, lady's face as my notes. because that lady's face got fucked
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that was rough.
I'll wake up thinking about that face now.
That is now number 12. It's right above Plane Crash Dreams, which is currently our one spot.
And both of us are open to moving things around after the fact, right?
Neither of us are. Well, one of us is open to that. I'll fight. We can fight about it.
I'm going to save my fights. Keep going. All right. First
All right.
topic. You're up.
Am I up first this week?
I did. Yeah, because I started Cougar.
Oh, all right. All right.
And
so
I'm
this
DB
week,
Cooper.
we're doing things that are round. My first item is my lucky coin. Now, I've kept it in this wallet. Also, this wallet is probably 20 years old at this point. I've kept it in this back part of this wallet for, since 2010. So it's been 25 years I've had this coin. It is for Washington's 25th lottery anniversary. You can see it right here. They gave them out for scratchets. It's actually from
It's like a pog.
From 2007.
Okay.
That says, it's hard to read, but it says 1982 to 2007. But the story behind this coin is why I've kept it. So I was in college. I didn't have a lot of money. I was going to fill up my busted ass Subaru Outback, and I had $2, which was not enough to buy breakfast. So I went in and I bought scratch-it tickets. And the clerk handed me this coin for my scratch-it tickets. And I scratched those tickets off, and I won $15, which was enough to buy myself a breakfast burrito and a coffee. And
No.
yes, this is 100% true. This is in Bellingham, Washington. Okay, the city of my college upbringing, and that's pretty much it. That's all this coin is. But I've carried it with me now for however long I said. I know I just calculated this, but goddamn, like brains are hard, and the information goes straight out.
Did you try briefly to use the coin he gave you as a currency?
Just hand it right back to him, please.
Like,
Coffee
thank
and
you,
burritos.
sir.
Well, so I would never buy coffee at a 7-Eleven because I'm not an animal.
Oh, well,
And that coffee is just disgusting. And their burritos are like really questionable too. So I went to the burrito stand that was in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven.
okay, that's way classier. Okay. I wasn't going to judge you.
Yeah,
You
but
were in
I scratched it
college. It's
off
also
in my car.
Bellingham.
I took these to my car, scratched them off, and then immediately walked back into the 7-Eleven, turned them into money, and then walked across the parking lot to get my burrito and coffee.
How confident were you that you were going to end up with breakfast?
Not very.
What a wacky thing to do. Why wouldn't you just keep your money?
Well,
Because you're a funny college kid?
Well, so I had dining hall currency, right? Like I could have gone to a dining.
So you weren't going
It's
to
not
starve
like I was
that day.
starving, but I didn't
Yeah.
have money at the time, and I
Yeah.
had a certain amount of time before class, and that time was either not eat or get burrito that I can't afford. And so the scratch tickets were they were the way to get there. I will say I don't know if this coin has brought me any luck since then. It has scratched many scratch tickets. I've almost certainly, because lotteries are lotteries, I've definitely lost more money with it than I have gained with it.
Well, so we actually have a way to know for sure right now if it's lucky or not. And if it isn't, then you can get rid of it. And so I want you to flip it 5 times. I want you each time to say what's going to happen. And if you get at least 3 of them right, that's a lucky coin. If not, we throw it in the fucking trash.
Oh, shit. All right, here we go. So one side says 25th lottery on it. One side says scratch. So 25. That's 25.
Okay.
So that's 1. 25. Oh. Landed on scratch. So 50-50. 25. Landed on scratch.
I want to throw
we
this
got one
coin
more.
out. I want to throw this dumb coin out.
Scratch, okay. Ooh,
So
we're
that's
2
it?
and 2.
What?
2 and 2. Scratch. 25. Damn it. All right. Well, it's gone. It's no longer in my wallet.
I kind of got sentimental about it while you were flipping. If you want to go grab it,
Yeah, I felt bad too. I'm gonna get it.
go grab it. Yeah, it's lucky.
Where did it go? Just sort
All
of
right.
threw it back at all of the fragile things that are on that shelf.
That is going to knock it down a point or two, but I don't want to take away
Yeah,
the luck from you.
it's not empirically lucky.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's when I think about my rating of this item, it's pretty simple. The story's good.
Mhm.
So I like the story. I'd say
Even if it was
the story's like an 8 for me.
Okay.
The actual luck properties, we're gonna put it like 3 because it worked once.
Okay.
And once is pretty good, but it didn't.
Have you
work
ever
just now.
tried it again for any major thing?
I mean, I haven't really had any situations involving scratchets or situations where I've needed a coin that has to be lucky.
Well,
The
You
amount
just-
of times I've needed a lucky coin in my life are pretty
Yeah.
low.
so say you're going into surgery for one of your many ailments as a sickly young
Yeah.
man.
Could happen.
That's a perfect example. That's a perfect scenario where you can flip it before the surgery. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that would have caused any anxiety if you flipped incorrect right before you went in.
So we did say I'm getting on a plane in 2 days. If I
Final Destination this.
if I leave the coin at home, does the plane crash?
Would you be open, Ashton? Ashton, would you be open to doing a flip right now to see if that plane crashes or not?
Oh man, there's
Ashton,
a lot. Sure.
Ashton.
Okay, if it lands on
No, Ashton, you don't have to.
if it lands on 25, I'm gonna be safe.
Okay.
Good news, I'm gonna be safe. The coin
Thank God. Okay.
Woo!
Ooh,
Right,
that was
well,
that got you a little, didn't it?
that did get me. Yeah, it put a lot of stakes on that coin flip.
Yeah.
That's what anxiety does right there.
I know.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you're good, man.
There's
You're
a
gonna
lot of
slide
lives on the line that you've just put there. Well, okay, so actually now so I was gonna say I hate it when props embarrass me, and it did embarrass me just then. We've established that I hate when props embarrass me on camera, but that was some pretty good showman value.
At
So
the end,
I'm
yeah.
actually gonna rate my lucky coin at like a 6.
Okay. Oh man, can I propose something? This is new.
Sure.
It doesn't get a final score until the final destination is over. And so we don't score it until next week or the week after when we know that you made it through the plane.
We know I made it back alive.
Because then I'll give it a 10. Maybe
okay,
not.
so we
I'll
give the lucky coin a 10 if I make it back alive. If I don't,
a 9.
no, fuck it, a 10. We
Okay,
give it
a
a 10
10
if I make it back
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
But if I don't, you have to record the podcast and rate the coin lower without me
Yeah.
and put it out. And
I'll give it-
look, this content will be fucking solid gold if I die at that point.
Yeah. No, for sure. I'll give you 3 big sadness booms, grievance booms. Boom. 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 Goodbye, Ashton.
All right, that's it.
Do I get the coin?
What?
Do I get the coin?
If I die,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Can
have
I
to
have it?
recover it off the plane crash, but sure.
Okay, if they find it, I want it.
Yeah. If they find the coin,
Yeah,
like
okay.
I've said it here on the podcast, if they find the coin, it's Connor's. That's just
Sorry,
it.
I was listening to some creepypasta podcast the last 2 days, so some of it is I got that in
It's
in
seeped
me.
into you. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, look, here it is. So we potentially have our first 10. So I'm gonna put it in here
Okay.
as a like unscored.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna really throw it off because Excel doesn't understand when it's not a numeric. Ashton's lucky coin.
If you don't make it through, I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be hard. Good luck. So category, I'm gonna say objects, notes,
Sorry, I already have this. The category of things like this falls into special treasures.
special treasures. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so will be scored upon return from Chicago.
You know what I would do? When you're at the bean, I'd give the bean a kiss, I'd give the coin a kiss, and then have the coin give a kiss to the bean.
Well, the coin flipped the bean. So
Hey, don't kiss the bean, by the way. It's not
I'm not gonna
sanitary.
kiss the bean.
Okay.
You know me. There's no way I'm kissing a bean.
Oh.
That's danger. That's sickness.
Okay, I got another surprise for you.
Okay. Yep.
What do you think is more interesting than one millennial with a coin? Yeah, buddy. It's Coin Wars. You see that bad
God
boy?
damn it! I knew it.
You see that?
You wanted me to go first, so your coin could be second. You son of
Yeah.
a bitch.
Yeah. Do you want to know about my coin?
Yeah, sure. Tell me about your coin.
This is, first of all, I've had this, and I didn't realize it until I thought about it today. I've had this coin for like 30 years, which is insane as to
Whoa.
why I still have this coin and why it has traveled along with my possessions this time. The other thing is I found it completely by itself in a locker of a public pool in a neighborhood in Naperville, Illinois, when I was like 10.
Spooky that you found it in Illinois, and I'm
So-
going to Illinois.
I didn't think of that being spooky, but it did dawn on me as we were about to go to do the show that someone may have left it there to curse me or to get rid of a curse or to pass a curse on. So I'd never thought about that. And my life's essentially gone to shit since I got this coin at 10. I was riding high. Everything was coming up Connor from work or school at the time. And since then, everything's been downhill. So that's the story of the coin. This is what I know about it as of today, which LLMs were incredibly helpful for because I tried to do this research 10 years ago and it was very hard. So this coin is most likely real. It is from 1771. It is a Spanish coin that was minted in Mexico. It is 4 reals, I believe is how you say it. I don't know. It is, and wait, I'll go ahead and pause there because that is what I know about this coin, and I can tell you more, but you probably have some questions because this coin is cool.
Yeah, I do have a question. So how much
Yeah.
is this bad boy worth? You get on eBay? You
So-
take a look?
If it's real, couple things. It is 90% silver-ish,
Pretty
and
good.
that would make it $12 in silver.
The other 10%.
I don't know. But if it's not real, it's most likely, from my research, a fake from the 1700s, not a recent one. And it probably has a lot of lead in it. So I'm going to stop touching it now, and I'm going to test that later. I actually should probably wash my hands. Yeah, so that's, and then if it is real and I don't melt it, it looks like the price for the condition it's in, which is very bad, but apparently for coins that are like 400 years old, it's in good condition. It's between $100 and $700 based on going rate.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Let's
if you want to go to
Roadshow that bad boy. Let's get it out there.
Dude, do you want to go to Bellevue Rare Coins with me together?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
1000%. That sounds like a great
I've been
adventure.
so scared
I
to go
definitely
there.
want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the coin. Questions?
Wow. Just already the potential worth is pretty high, and the potential lead poisoning is also pretty high.
Both of which are in my
gloves when we
rubric.
go to the coin exchange.
Yeah.
Just to be so. My second question: what are the odds that there are undead pirates chasing you for this coin, and you just haven't realized yet because you live inland?
I think maybe that's the reason I was thinking that. I think it's high, honestly.
You found it in water. It's a Spanish coin.
That water was highly chlorinated. And it was...
Pirates don't care. Water's water to pirates. Pirates see water and they say, that's mine.
Wait. I'm pretty sure sun is to vampires as chlorine is to pirates.
You don't think pirates can... Hold on, let's just see. When was chlorine invented?
It's in the periodic table. It wasn't invented.
Yeah, but like commercial chlorine. Okay, so the element was first isolated in 1774.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Way before the TB vaccine.
So let's see. Chlorine commercial use date. This is important to my scoring. Very important. Okay, so Come on, LLMs, get it together.
Oh, can I tell you my validation while you do this of what I've done for this coin?
Yeah, 1785, by the way.
1785. That's only 6 years before my coin.
Whoa, interesting. And notably after the golden age of piracy.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's less of them.
Both of them are, you said, when's your coin from?
1771.
Okay, the golden age of piracy ended before that. So it's still possible. Like, you could have a latent pirate on your ass. Like, could be like one of the last pirates, honestly.
It could be the Silver Age. It is a silver coin.
It could be. So, all right. Sorry, you had something you wanted to say and I forgot. I got excited about chlorine.
No, I just have my rubric left for special treasures.
Okay. The last thing I had to say is just you got it from a public pool, and that's kind of gross. Like,
I feel
there's
like
probably some pee on that coin.
So there's I don't know if you had this life experience, but maybe it's a Midwest thing. It happened in Georgia too, but where just a lot of white people live in houses, like thousands of houses next to each other. And so you put a pool in the middle and then all the kids go to the pool so the parents don't have to take care of them. Like that was my childhood. So I think as far as neighborhood public pools, very fond memories.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
You ever play pickle where you just run between? It's like Red Rover, but you tag someone as hard as you can with a tennis ball.
No.
That was most of my childhood. Just welts. Walking home with welts.
It does sound like a good time, though.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to give it a rating. Here's my rubric.
Give me the rating.
Special treasures. It breaks into 3 categories. Hobbies on the spectrum. Coin collecting. Very basic for a spectrum hobby, honestly. Stamps, trains, like get a real fucking hobby. So I'm going to give that one a 5 because I'm not actually doing it, but I am hoping that it is lucrative for me. So I'm in the middle of collecting coins. Monetary worth, I'm going to give that a 6 because it's worth a couple of pesos.
It might be worth more. We don't know.
So the only way it's not worth anything is if it's a recent fake. But even if it's like an old fake, that's interesting too. It's probably just poisonous to me at this point.
Okay.
And that leads me to my last category, lead poisoning. I'm going to give it a 0 because I actually believe it. As much as I'd like to think it's real, and I've done validation of which measuring it to the millimeter, I've weighed it on a gram scale, and I've tested it with magnets, all of which point to it being silver. But I am very surprised that there would be a 400-year-old coin in a locker in a Naperville pool. So I really do think it's fake. And so lead poisoning, I'm pretty sure it's full of lead, and I'm giving this bad boy a 4 overall.
Such an interesting story, though. Storytelling quality is high. But yeah, 4, I know it's not interesting when we agree, but that seems right. So I'm gonna agree to a 4.
Would you want to do something, and this might be a longer time frame than your plane ride, but let's say if you ever in our lifetime find me dead, and it's very apparent that ghostly aspirations of what's the right word? Not aspiration. Apparitions?
Ghostly apparitions.
Ghostly pirate apparitions, just tip to tail, cut me down, then it goes to a 10. Otherwise, it's a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I ever
also wanna
die to ghost pirates in my entire life, we're going to change it to a 10.
I would agree to that. I would also say if we go to this coin place and it's valued over $700, let's bump it up. Like we'll revisit.
Okay, yeah, and we're going to Chili's.
Yeah. Oh, and we're
In
definitely
Spokane.
going to Chili's. We can like book airplane tickets just so we can go to the Chili's in the airport.
I don't want to fly, but fuck.
No. We don't get on the plane.
Yeah, no, that's
We
even
just
better.
use it
That's
to
in
get in to
Seattle.
go to
I
the
thought you were saying
Chili's.
fly
we
to
buy
Spokane.
the cheapest plane
Okay.
ticket we can, and then we go to Chili's.
Okay, no, we tell them that I'm your dad, and I need to escort you to the terminal.
Okay. And then
you
so we
look-
only
you
buy
look
one
so-
plane ticket, and then we go to Chili's.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, done.
Done.
We do have a problem that does
Uh-oh.
lead to a tie.
Mhm.
So, and I think this is an easy one to resolve. It's tied with Fitz the dog. I
Is this
want to
gonna be
rate
another
Connor's
0.5 bounce?
400-year-old Spanish coin higher than Fitz the dog.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
Easy.
we bumped it to a 4.5.
Okay.
It's in the special treasures category. Notes, if Connor is killed by pirates, specifically pirate ghosts, it's a 10. If it's valuable, we go to Chili's.
And I'd like to do a final proposal that I'm hoping you'd ratify. This whole time-bound score, I'd like to connect it only to special treasures.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay,
Because
so
I don't like revisiting items, but both
I
of
know.
these have very compelling reasons to revisit them.
they do.
Especially like my death on a plane. Again, like if that fucking happens, I'll be pissed, but it would be such good content.
Yeah.
Such good content.
I mean, the only bummer is that there's going to be like 2 people that see that content, and I don't have Riverside
If I
Pro.
die,
Who's going to edit it? You're saying I have to get the Pro sub?
yeah, you have to get the pro subscription to Riverside so that you can do
Put
what
the
I
coin
do.
down.
That's it. Podcast is over. He's gone. That's just me. I'm just talking to myself. All right, I'll rate my next item without him. I don't need him. Just gotta sit here and drink my water and hope he comes back. That's some good H2O. I rate that H2O 10. I'm gonna put it on the scale before he gets back.
All right, Water Boy, let's go. What's your
All
next round thing?
My second item. Second and final item, I should say. This is my off-brand Roomba. It is a Shark robotic vacuum. You will notice it has an Apple sticker on it, and right away I'm going to say that that's a pro because it confuses people. Specifically, it confuses my dad and my stepmom because every time they come over, they ask, "Is that an Apple vacuum?" And it never is, but they forget, so I get to do the goof all over again.
Wait a
and
second.
I appreciate that.
If next time I'm at your house and I know your parents are going to be there, I'm going to accidentally bring 4 Apple vacuums in, and I'm going to give Kermit a deal he cannot resist.
You're going to make an indecent proposal involving vacuums?
No, I would never decent proposal Kermit with the vacuums, but
Right, so
I
listen to
feel like
this.
he would buy it.
Listen to this.
I'm too close to a cliff. Please reposition me.
So I hate how condescending it is to me, and it also is just not very fucking good at its job. So you heard that voice, I presume.
Uh-huh.
And so sometimes in the middle of the night, it will just like it won't find its dock in the day, and I'll forget about it. And then like midnight, 3 a.m., I'll just hear, "Let's get cleaning."
Why is it talking? It
But
doesn't.
It just does it all night. And like I have to get up and find
Let's
it
get
in
cleaning.
the middle of the night, or it just keeps saying, "Let's get cleaning."
No. Fuck.
Or, "My battery is low. Please charge me." And it's like, oh my god, I wish I could turn this fucking shit off.
Can you
it's-
not?
I mean, well, that's a good point. I don't know if I can. The app is also dog shit.
Yeah.
So it takes like 5 minutes to load every time.
From the
time I
fine
do
people
it,
at Shark?
What?
The fine people at Shark didn't create a good app?
No, they didn't. I mean,
Honestly,
they
we
did give
should
me the
probably
opportunity
hold
to
on a
name
second.
it Jaws, which is pretty good because it says Jaws is cleaning your house, and I know it's a shark, so that's fun. But it's also like, it's not great at its job. It's not bad at its job. Like it does do the vacuuming, but every month I have to clean it out because it gets full of pet hair.
That's it?
Well, I probably should clean it more often, but I don't.
So hold on. So what it's doing, if that thing fills up in 2 minutes, and then for a month you're letting it
No, I
run
have
around.
to empty it has a tank. It has a tank that I have to empty of dirt much more often than
So
once
it's
a
actually
month.
fancier.
Yeah, so I have to open it up though and like physically remove hair from it with a paring knife
Yeah.
like once
Yeah.
a month because it gets really clogged up in there. And also the base where it like sucks up all the dirt and puts it into the tank smells like dog shit. So every time it like Not literal dog shit. Sorry, metaphorical dog shit.
Okay. Because that was my first question.
Because it sucks it up, and there's something about like the air filter where it sprays it out into the room, the smell. So it just smells like dust and dog hair, and it's gross. But it does get it off the floor, and I don't have to vacuum it myself, and I do enjoy that. So, you know.
Okay. Have you had another one of these things?
No.
Okay, so I've only had one experience. I don't think anyone really likes these things unless you're getting the top of the line and your house is made for it. I think they all fucking suck, is the hunch I have, because mine sucks. In fact...
Well, I mean, they do because they're vacuums.
Well, some of them mop, some of them suck and blow. Our biggest issue...
My boss had a wet one, and then he told me a story about how it like got into cat poop and just dragged it around his house. And rather than it being dry cat poop, it was wet because it was a wet vac. Has that happened to you?
No,
I don't have a wet vac.
No,
Actually,
I mean with
sorry,
your regular...
Yeah, absolutely. It's picked up shit and dragged it around the house, 100%.
Like actual poop?
Yes.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It also tries to eat quartz, too.
Yeah. I don't like these things.
Yeah, I mean, but also I don't have to vacuum. I'd give up a lot not to vacuum. Like, there's the fantasy of the Jetsons of, like, having the Rosie that vacuums your house.
Of course.
I really want that. I want the thing that cleans my house and, like, irons my shirts and shit. I want to iron my t-shirts. I would love having, like, crisp t-shirts every day.
Yeah, of course. Okay, here's my one question. Because I think this thing already sucks. I'm going to argue you as close to zero as I can. But we know eventually, even the dumbest robots are going to have a higher stature than humans. What is this robot's vibe? Like, what kind of feudal or what kind of like leader is it? And then are you welcome based on how are you welcome to his table or as a subordinate based on how you've treated? Does this robot have a name?
Yeah, Jaws. Its name is Jaws.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so Jaws. Yeah. So Jaws is now how is he running West Seattle?
Well, he's not a very competent leader. I could tell you that. Just based on he doesn't really understand like the basics of his programming. Like this dumbass maps the house out. It has a house map and it still can't get navigated, and it still gets stuck on like stools and can't finish its route half the time. So I feel pretty confident that even if it gets artificial intelligence, like this thing's not gonna hurt me.
Oh.
Like I am in full control. There's no way this thing is taking over me. It's dumb.
So I'm actually going to stop this line of questioning just for future observers of this content. I'm assuming it's being gobbled up at large scale and you're not watching it. I have nothing to do with this man. I do not have the same feelings or intent as he does towards what I see as the next evolution of humanity.
You fucking robot scab.
And so, yeah, no, for sure. And I would be more than happy, either him personally, West Seattle, honestly, anything. I will give up humanity in a moment. So.
Okay, all right. RoboScab, I got it. You want my rating? I give it a 3 because it does still clean.
I give it a 1. It sounds like you're cleaning it as much as it's cleaning your house.
I mean, that is fair. I would accept a 2. We can argue it down to a 2. My shitty robot gets a 2.
Okay, that seems fair.
Okay, so shitty robot
stamp
vacuum.
a 2 on it. Can we get an animation where we stamp numbers on the screen?
Ooh, I'd love that.
That'd be cool.
Beyond my abilities, but yeah, like boom, boom, it's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad news, we got a tie. So it's tied currently with Cougar Attacks from earlier in the episode.
Are they both whole numbers?
Yes, I think we should go 2.5 on the shitty robot vacuum and have it be better than Cougar Attacks.
I feel like the life lessons of a cougar attack or the near cougar attack are more valuable than the shitty utility of your poorly working vacuum with an Apple sticker on it.
That's a fair point, and we'll call it a 2, and Cougar Attacks gets bumped up to a 2.5. This is definitely an object that's not in Special Treasures as a category. Notes, bad at vacuum, 1 solid goof, loud, stinky.
I will be honest. I don't know if I was confused by the Apple sticker, but I found it kind of infuriating when I saw it in your house.
Yeah.
It just felt really unnecessary. And also, who uses those Apple stickers anymore?
Me. And I like the other one
vacuum
that I got is on my Xbox. I put it over the Xbox logo on my Xbox to confuse people.
No, it just makes me feel weird.
Yeah, I like it. My wife hates how fast I put stickers on things. Like if I get them, I'm slapping it on something like same day. I do not hold on to stickers. I don't do it. I just put them on things.
I really wish that you would take brand affinity more seriously.
That bad boy, I bought that at a coffee shop and put it on my phone before I had left the counter.
I have that sticker.
You have that sticker?
Yeah, somewhere.
It's from a coffee shop in Kirkland.
Which one?
Something down by the water by Flat Stick.
It's called something down by the water.
I don't know what it's called. It's just down by the water.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. Take it away.
I have my last item. I'm going to show it to you here first. Can you see it?
Yeah. I see a
can
panda
you see my-
on a circle.
This is when I cared enough to do handwriting. You didn't know me back then. That's my best handwriting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay. So that is not only an ultimate disc for playing the game of ultimate. Wait, we don't call it frisbee. What do we call it? Ultimate? I don't know. Flying disc.
It's Ultimate Frisbee.
Not the frisbee's TM. So any of the real names don't have frisbee in them.
Ultimate disc hooking.
Oh, I thought you said a different word. So it is a regulation. Oh God, it's been so long. Man, I should have had that off the tip of my tongue. Ultra Star, duh. For all the ultimate players out there, check that out. Oh man. So I used to play a lot of ultimate. Pretty big deal. Ultimate, for people who don't know, is a sport like soccer, and it's for mostly white men who weren't good enough for other sports. And so that's how I found it. And the specific disc that you saw is a spirit disc. And so this was a reward for being a spirited player in the Washington area, the Washington, D.C. area Flying Disc Club League, of which I played for 10 years. And I won it, Ashton. I won it fun and fair and fucking square. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think I won it because I wanted the frisbee?
You won it because you wanted the Frisbee.
I was the most spirited player because I wanted to own the physical reward that you get for doing that thing.
What does it mean to be the most spirited player?
Oh, that's a great question, friend. It comes from Ultimate kind of has something that I think is fairly unique, at least the way that we talked about it. And there is one of the most important parts of the game is called the spirit of the game. And it's mostly because it's unrefereed because they don't have money for refs. On the other hand, you can also look at it as it kind of came up in the 70s, hippie culture. The idea was, yeah, we're playing a sport, but like, let's not be dicks. And so you self-referee yourself. And if you do something you shouldn't do, you call yourself on it. And so spirit of the game is generally trying to play a game by being cool to each other.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of, we could talk about that another day. But anyways, I won this disc more than once. And I'll tell you, and this will get to my rubric. My rubric for this is griffs. And the categories for griffs are success of the griff, the guilt you get from the griff, the life skills learned from the griff, and then obviously the overall score. So here's the thing, Ashton. I'm not a highly spirited person. I did this because I wanted it, and I was nice to people because I wanted the goddamn frisbee. I brought treats to the game. I pumped people up. I made sure that gender's getting equal time on the field. I made sure that I was doing jokes all the time, mostly for myself. But ultimately, I did all those things so I could win this fucking special frisbee with a panda on it, because it was the only way to get it.
Did you? How much did you want to do those things organically? What was the organic interest in those activities?
I'm going to pivot it a little. I think the added benefit of having a reward at the end is very satisfying for my brain. So it wasn't so much me like not being genuine or not being genuine. It was about having a motivation that was probably not as pure as it could have been.
Okay. All right. But there was some part of you that wanted to do these things.
Ashton, one time in a final co-ed C-League game, I called pick on a 4-foot tall woman who was clearly going to catch an end zone goal. And I argued that I did the math and I was tall enough that there was no way that she could get it without me. And that's why I called the pick. And we ended up winning the game on the next point.
Wow. That's nice. That's some Rudy level shit right there.
Ruthless. Here's what I give it. For the grift. Moving forward, I'm going to have a lot of grifts because I think a lot of things I do in my life are grifts. Success, 10. I got 2 of these discs. All right,
Do you have both?
I believe so. I can melt one and I'd still have another one. Guilt, honestly, 3. I don't feel that guilty because I did the thing. It doesn't matter the underlying motivations all the time. I was a nice person. I made people feel good. I made people feel welcome. And that's nice of me to do. Very little guilt. Life skills. I'm actually going to give this one a 10 because I think it was one of the first places where I was like, I can grift anything into getting things I want if I'm nice. And then I've taken that to work and did that for 10 years. And that worked pretty well too. And so overall, I'm going to push this spirit disc that I grifted and don't feel bad about to a 9.
Wow.
Come
That's a
at me.
high rating, and I'll
Come
tell
at
you
me.
right now. I tell
Am I
you right
poisoning?
now.
0.
I'm gonna try and take it down. I'm gonna try and
That's
take it
fine.
down at least
Give me
a
a number.
few.
That's fine.
So, but I want to start.
Yeah.
So as you were telling your story, it kind of made me think. So I was watching Last of Us this week. No spoilers, don't worry. But this frisbee, it kind of reminds me of how like we have to hold on to whimsy where we can, right? And whimsy in life is important, and your spirit is whimsical.
Okay.
And in that show, they get stuck in the snow quite a lot, and it seems really fucking cold all the time. And I'd never really thought about that before, just the concept of being stuck like in the cold, and it made me wonder what would happen if I got stuck in a snowstorm. And in that scenario, how is this frisbee gonna help me?
All right. I have something for you, friend. There's a picture I want you to see in the doc. Can you go open that up? It's the very last one. I'll give you a better thing, bud. Let's watch this together real quick.
Got this fucking picture. All right, yeah, opening the chat.
I don't even know if I have an answer outside of this clip. And so if this
The
clip
fact that you have a
answers your
clip
question,
ready to go for this is pretty good, though. This is called Hard Ticket to Hawaii Frisbee Death. And we're going to go ahead and open this up and hit play. I was listening. There's 2 guys playing Frisbee. One of them is holding a machine gun. There is now a bikini babe in the background. Fuck is this?
this is your answer, bud.
Did he throw the Frisbee so that she would chase it?
Yep. So do you, Pilgrim.
Oh my god, that... Oh... Wow. So this guy, for the people listening at home, this guy just got absolutely obliterated by a Frisbee. Yeah, wow. That was a lot.
I think I answered it.
I don't understand how that helps me in a snowstorm.
Okay, so you're
I'm
off
not
a
being
ravine.
actively attacked. I can't just knife
You're in
the
a car.
weather to death.
You're in a ravine.
Yeah,
You can't get back up, but
out of snacks.
you do have the ability to hunt and trap small animals. And so you have this spirit disc with you. And I would assume the spirit of the game would create some sort of magic that adds those razors. And now you have the perfect weapon to sustain yourself until spring when it thaws out and you can hike up back to the road.
Wow. Okay, so this is really interesting. This is going to be the first time we really disagree on an item because I'm going to argue that it's a fucking Frisbee. One.
Fun?
No,
Those aren't dime a dozen, bud.
No, that was, as in, it was my first point. I'm not giving it a 1,
Okay.
but it is a fucking Frisbee.
I almost lost my fucking shit.
Okay, I have another question. When's the last time you used this Frisbee for anything other than showing it off?
You don't play with a spirit disc. I have 100 Frisbees I've never played with.
What do you do with a spirit disc? You display it?
It sits in a bag in my
I
garage
was going to
until I
say, tell me,
recycle it.
where was it before this call? It was in a bag in your garage?
Yeah.
All right.
But not
I'm
now.
not-
Now it's going to live in my office to remind me of the great grift that I did and all the good friends I made along the way grifting them.
If you commit to having this in your office for the next 10 years,
It's not a special treasure. Wait, is it a special? Fuck, is
it
this a
kind of
special
is
treasure?
a special treasure.
What did I? Hold on. What category did I give it?
We don't even have to check
It's a
in.
grift. It's a grift.
Yeah, it's a grift. Okay, but listen,
It's a special treasure.
if you commit to having it in your office for the next 10 years, I'll give you a 6.
Wait a second. Hold on. That's success? How about if I don't keep it in my office for 10 years, I get a
rating
6?
it at a 4.
I'll push you to a 5. That seems fair.
5? Okay.
Frisbees are fun because they move with the air, bud. I feel like you don't really understand.
I get it, but like I
You
have
don't get
Frisbees.
it. There's so much math to do. All I see is math when I'm playing.
Honors, Spirit, Frisbee.
Did I get it
you
to a
said not
5?
Frisbee because that's trademark.
It's a flying disc.
Flying Spirit, flying
disc.
disc. We give it a 5.
Heck yeah.
Special treasures. You said grift. You wanted to be in grift or special
No,
treasures?
because grift is kind of the secondary category. Category is special treasures.
I'm just gonna put Connor grifted it. Ashton was not impressed.
How are you not impressed, man?
I'm impressed by the
You
grift.
know
I'm not
me.
impressed by the disc. The disc itself is not
I think the
impressive
problem
to
is
me.
you didn't know like a shittier version of me. Like I used to be mean for no reason.
Yeah, well, so for this episode, there's actually like we potentially have our new high. It's sitting unscored at the top
Look how your coin.
for my safe return from Chicago. Then
Ashton, I definitely didn't expect one of our ratings to be dependent on your continued living in the next week. It's honestly freaking me out a little bit right now.
it's also freaking me out. I kind of wish we hadn't done it, but
I
we
know.
have.
I felt that way. I gave you an out. I was like, dude, you don't have
It's
to do
too late.
this.
it's fucking on paper here. Like now the risk is real.
I'll call in some Xanax too. You can double up.
Yeah. So as long as I live through the next week, that's our 10. Okay. Connor's spirit flying disc is a 5. Connor's 400-year-old Spanish coin is a 4.5. And then my shitty robot vacuum is a 2, which is actually our second worst item we have. But look at that. We got a list going here. This is a nice continuum.
We added 3 things to it. We had the cougar thing too.
Yeah, sorry. We had fucking cougar attacks too. We added 5. So
Yeah.
that's also not 2 of our bottom things. Pretty good. But that's all we have for today. So let's close with some quick words of affirmation. I know you already gave me.
Yeah, so you give me
Mine.
2. Yeah.
So I give you 2 now.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Mhm.
So I like the dynamism you've brought to our items now by putting my life on the line for them. It really has
Me
sort
too.
of upped the stakes of our programming.
Yeah.
And then I also respect the fact that that if you're shitting yourself, you should stop working on the song for the show because it's just not worth it.
It was just a bubble of air that I tempted. I tempted a bubble, and I found out.
You fuck around and find out.
All right.
That's all we have for today. I don't
Can
have
I give you my
closing-
affirmation?
Well, yeah, I thought you said I already got my affirmation.
I did, but I want to give you a real one.
Okay.
I love you. You're a special boy.
Thanks, bud. I love you too.
Yeah.
See? That's love.
That's
That's
love.
the show.
What would you rank our? We'll rank our love another time.